Okay, I'm going to try to record the process to fill Abuelita's Parker 21 ink pen that I've restored and demonstrate it. It is a Parker 21. I don't know if we can get the camera to focus. I did straighten out the nib that was cracked. Not cracked, sorry, bent. I don't know if you can see with this is focusing, but there are two cracks here in the I forget what this is called, housing or feed or whatever this is called, that I have filled in and polished over, so they're much less noticeable. And then I've tried to polish the plastic as much as I could. So to fill this, you simply twist it and it'll untwist here at the metal and the outer plastic body will come off. I'm doing this one-handed here, just to demonstrate you can do this with one hand. And you'll see it says Parker 21, I believe. And it'll say that it's made in America, and some other information. This is a ink sac made out of some sort of material, artificial material. There's a little bit of moisture in there because I cleaned this out earlier. But the idea is you stick it in the ink bottle, squeeze this a few times, and as you do, the sac fills with ink and then will be useful while you're writing with it. So what I have here is Parker Quink ink. I'm colorblind. Possible. I ordered blue. It looks blue. Okay, this must be blue. It's just the lighting in my room. Is there a way I can turn a light on here? Okay, so I did verify offline that it is in fact blue ink. So here we have our Parker Quink ink, and I got this to make it time appropriate for the pen. I don't know if this is the exact ink that Abuelita would have used. However, there is a good chance that this is the ink Abuelita would have used. This ink was available during the time that Abuelita would have bought this pen. It was a popular ink at the time, and inside of the pen was a blue ink. So there's a good chance that this is the exact formula of the ink that Abuelita used. So there it is. I'm gonna have a paper towel here ready because I'm gonna try to wipe this off with one hand. So again, as I was saying earlier, this is the ink sac. We're gonna squeeze it inside the ink to try to get our ink fill. So I just stick this in here, about like so far. And you'll see bubbles. And you could do it until you stop seeing bubbles. It's a good sign you've got as much ink as you're gonna get. And then just going to gently wipe off any excess ink. And then I'm going to put the plastic housing back on. Put the plastic housing back on. There is still a little bit of ink on here. So off camera, I'm just wiping off a little bit of the excess ink. And I am now going to close this ink container and move it to the side before we have an issue with it. Okay, so that is our Parker Quink ink fill. Now the cap can be posted on the back of the pen. It looks like it was regularly posted based off of the scuff marks. So it would have been written quite a bit with it posted on the end. So the black part does go down. This is kind of the way the pen was meant to be held. The gravity has the ink flow through the feed and between the small slit there in the middle of the metal nib. And what I'm going to do is just demonstrate the writing here. What I have is Maruman Japanese paper, grid, and I'm just going to write something here like thank you, Abuelita, for all the fun times. So the pen writes perfectly well, no skipping. It's kind of a fine, almost medium, but more on the fine side. And it's a little bit thicker on the downstroke than the side stroke. That might have been a result of some of the adjustments when I was straightening out the nib, but I actually like that. It makes it look a little bit more interesting when you're writing. So yeah, it's a lovely pen. That's some ink I got from filling the pen. It's always dangerous to fill the ink, so it's a good thing this is washable ink. I can get that off pretty easily. Yeah, it is a no issues with ink flow. That is for sure. This Parker Quink ink does have a little bit of feathering at some points, but that could also just be the paper. It is a very dark blue ink, almost like a blue-black ink, and I think that was technically used at the time for a lot of legal documents and general writing purposes. So it's probably a very popular ink to use, and this is the pen that Abuelita would have written with, filled with the ink that she most likely would have used. So that is it, fully restored, repaired, and ready to be used again for another generation.